Heart disease, cancer, and stroke are the leading causes of death for Black men. They also have a shorter lifespan. Black men die 7 years earlier than other racial groups.
So 40% of Black men die prematurely from heart disease. 37% of Black men are clinically obese, and they're 60% more likely to be diagnosed with diabetes than white men. So these stats and his own health scares led our next guest to organize the Black Man's Health Festival taking place this weekend in Brooklyn. So here to tell us more about it is Christopher Williams, the founder of Heart, Body, and Soul. So Christopher, good to see you this morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you both for having me. I appreciate it. It's a pleasure being here.
Of course, and you know those stats all too well. You had 2 heart attacks.
2. And
a diagnosis of cancer all before the age of 50.
Yes, that's correct.
Can you share some of your story and the road with all of that?
You know, it was a little insane. So
yeah.
42 on 2015 was my first heart attack. Totally caught me off guard. I was in great physical shape, in the gym 6 days a week, not expected. And then come 2021, to be diagnosed with cancer, all I had was pain in my lower abdomen, which led me to go to the hospital, and they said, you have appendicitis. So we have to do the appendectomy.
Yeah.
On doing the appendectomy, they found a tumor sitting on my appendix.
Wow.
Biopsied it, and I found out a week later when I went to get my staples removed that I have cancer. It wasn't until after that it was determined, you know, the pathology, that it was stage 3. Following that, in September and October 8th of 2021, I had my second heart attack at the age of 48.
Oh my God. Well, then it's a blessing that you are here today.
Yes.
So thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
But then there's the issue of being, I guess, what many people call the invisible man, because you really had to advocate for yourself.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
In the
I had to
healthcare
make
system.
I had to make as much noise as possible, because unfortunately sometimes, you know, our voices get lost. You know, the conversation around pain and not understanding when you say you're in pain that it really is real pain. Quick story is, I almost had a 3rd heart attack. So in January of 2022, I was having more chest pain. So I went to the hospital, told them. They were pretty dismissive about it, because they said, oh, you just had a couple stents put in, you should be fine. So we're not going to do another cardiac catheterization, which is where they go in to see what's going on there in the vessel. So didn't do that. They said it's probably just angina. So just, you know, you'll be fine. Yeah. I had my surgery in February of 2022 to remove the tumor, and it was a whole procedure. And then February 23rd, I had to go back into the hospital because they said I was 95% blocked in one of my coronary arteries.
Yep,
oh
listening to your body, you told them.
Yep.
And that's one thing that men don't usually do, is listen to their bodies and go to the doctor. And you were following all the right steps to do that, right? So now you formed Heart, Body, and Soul to kind of help some men, particularly Black men, out with listening to their bodies and going and getting things checked out. Tell us a little bit about the organization.
So we started for that reason, right? And I'm glad you just went right into it. So it makes perfect sense because of what was going on in the communities, because of the statistics you just mentioned. We needed to make sure that more of a brighter light was being shined on the problem. And so a lot of what we do is make sure that we bring in hospitals like Weill Cornell, Memorial Sloan Kettering, Mount Sinai into our communities to see and interact with the men and give them opportunities to screen. And then we encourage the men there to have real conversations with the doctors. We bring in holistic practitioners to also introduce things like acupuncture and massage therapy, and just get men thinking a little bit different. A big part of this is not just the physical component, but also the mental component. So we want to make sure that we address all those issues and get people more realigned on the focus of prioritizing their health.
Do you think for a lot of men, particularly Black men, it's taboo to talk about health, or to say that I'm not physically fit?
I think we have this need to be Superman. I think we have this need to carry the world on our shoulders, and we have a lot to prove. And so we were put in positions where we have, you know, families to support, and so we're thinking we can't stop. Like, we have to keep going because we have to be better. We have to be better. And so there has to come a point where we realize that none of this matters if you don't have your health.
Well,
none of what you're striving for matters. So health has to be the #1 priority.
That's such a good point, right? Because you're going, making sure everybody else is okay. And sometimes you're like, that pain, it'll go away.
It'll go away.
It'll go away.
Tough guy.
Which brings us, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the festival that you're doing this weekend to help
Yes.
raise awareness. Tell us about the festival, how people can get involved, how they get tickets.
Absolutely. So the festival is happening at Weeksville Heritage Center in Brooklyn, which is a beautiful historic site. What we're doing is we're going to give people an opportunity, specifically the men, to come out and they can get massages. We have a whole wellness lounge created by Life Wellness Center, so they can come in, get all these great massages, Reiki. Then there's a barber shop, or rather a self-care lounge. So you'll have barbers on site. These are free haircuts, by the way.
Wow.
Free massages. Everything is free. There is going to be manicures, so that men can get their manicures and their hand massages. And then if you have locks, you can get your locks retwisted.
Nice.
So all these
Wow.
different things, panel discussions. There's a group called Men at Work Healing and Wall Street Alphas that will be setting up and curating great conversations. Just giving men a chance to really have real conversation.
Good.
It's a nice early Father's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some
Yeah,
dads out
absolutely,
there.
absolutely. and so you mentioned Father's Day. We're doing. There's a group called City Block that gave us an opportunity to give men words of affirmation. You know, so there's a lot of really good things that are happening to just really uplift and celebrate Black men.
Good
And you know, our goal is men of color in general to just shine a light on the challenges, on the issues, and get them to grow.
Good stuff you're doing.
Thank you.
Good stuff you were doing. I'm glad you are here to tell the
Thank
story
you.
and to
Yes.
do good work.
Thank you.
Continued help to you.
And we got to change that. Men should be getting manicures more often.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Come on.
That's why it's called a manicure. All right.
Good.